A lot of people ask, now that we have the bulls and bears trading system, do I believe it's necessary for traders to learn such things as Fibonacci retracements, projection levels, Elliott wave theories, and advanced recurring price patterns? The answer to this question is a very simple and without hesitation, yes. I do believe you should still continue to further your trading education pursuit into these different areas of technical analysis. The reason I believe this is still important is because if you have a fundamental knowledge of Elliott wave Fibonacci projections and retracements, you'll not only have a better insight as to where markets are in relationship to their past price levels and where they have a high degree of probability to be in the near future, but you'll also have a better understanding of the core workings and functionality of the bulls and bears system itself and why it makes the color changes that it does. Even though you will most likely continue to use the bulls and bears as your primary staging ground for market entry and exit, having this additional knowledge can, to a large degree, bring an added level of confidence and success to your trading, simply by allowing you to make projections for the purpose of calculating risk versus reward ratios and relationships between different market segments. So, in this bulls and bears training video, I want to discuss some advanced market strategies regarding how the bulls and bears interacts with the Fibonacci and Elliott wave theories. Of course, this video is not meant to be a complete discovery of all the great and wonderful features of Fibonacci and Elliott wave. In-depth features are covered within my other trading course materials. This video assumes you are already somewhat familiar with Fibonacci and Elliott wave theory, as we talk about how the bulls and bears quantifies, verifies, and interacts directly with Fibonacci and Elliott wave retracements. The first step is to briefly review Elliott wave. Elliott waves are nothing more than recurring price patterns, just like 1, 2, 3 top formations or narrow sideways channels. Elliott wave patterns are a series of market advancements and retracements, which can be counted and measured, 5 waves forward with 3 wave retracements. The logic goes that markets move in waves, basically 2 steps forward and 1 step back, then 2 steps forward once again. This is the basis of Elliott's theory. Fibonacci, on the other hand, is simply a mathematical retracement and projection calculation. We use Fibonacci to measure the Elliott wave retracements and to project out into the future an approximation of where and when the next Elliott wave advancement is going to be. Using these two tools in combination with each other makes a very powerful forward-looking market projection strategy, used very successfully by many traders. But when you add the bulls and bears red light green light market trend indication tool to this already powerful combination, you then get what looks like a 3D view of the Elliott wave and Fibonacci patterns that you've been receiving. The bulls and bears can actually help to confirm your other Elliott wave and Fibonacci thought processes. Here's how it works. Elliott moves through waves, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward and 1 step back again, and so on. The bulls and bears also counts and measures these moves within its hyperbolically linked mathematical formulas. So as the Elliott wave pattern advances, the bulls and bears changes the price bar colors to green. As the market pulls back against the overall trend, the bulls and bears changes the color to yellow. The pullback against the trend is where we begin to measure the retracement within our Fibonacci ruler, in an attempt to measure how far back we anticipate the trend to retrace. If the retracement breaks too far back, beyond the bulls and bears calculated Fibonacci retracement level, the price bars will change over to red, in an indication that the market has retraced too far back to be considered a viable Fibonacci pullback or retracement, and is now considered to be in a new downtrend. In a perfect world, we would see an advancing market move through the steps of the Elliott wave with green price bars, and then yellow price bars reflected through each gentle pullback as the market approaches the maximum Fibonacci retracement levels. When the market begins to advance forward once again, the bulls and bears would confirm the positive rise in price by turning the price bars back to green. This pattern of color change would continue up and through the entire Elliott wave pattern, at which point it would turn red, but only after reaching the top of our Elliott wave reversal formation. Of course, if we were working with a bearish market, this entire scenario would be turned upside down, and rather than green price bars, we would be experiencing an Elliott wave red price bar decline.